Yo, what's good, everybody? Bren here. Saturday, September. What the fuck? January 17th. Hope everybody's having a great day. Um, been about a week and a day since I did the last stream with FFV. Um, been been doing some other stuff this week. Didn't really have time to stream, but thought I'd do this Saturday stream instead of Fridays, and then get back as the market heats up here. Get back to the Tuesdays and Friday schedule. This last month, been some pretty great streams with FFV. Was on the Greeny and Craig show, which was really great. Plan on doing a lot more of that this year. Going on other people's show, but also having cool people on. People with cool stories and all that good shit. But excited to get back with the streaming. We're gonna go over the markets today. Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, kind of in no man's land right now, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. But I think there's a lot of reasons to be bullish, both chart wise and pretty much every reason, I think, to be bullish over the next few months. We'll go over that. Obviously, AI season, Meta, part two popping off. You have coins like Ralph, Gas, some of these other coins I've seen in the chat go absolutely crazy for a lot of the homies that have been buying those. I have been, like I said, distracted by some other stuff the last few days, so I haven't really played the AI stuff, to be honest. Um, but we'll talk about that. I've definitely been studying and learning about that. We'll talk about whether I think that's going to continue. I want to hear from you guys in the chat as well. Always, the stuff that you've been trading. Whether you think the AI stuff's going to pop off. We'll talk about the Clarity Act, and I've been very bullish in talking about the Clarity Act for the last few months and why I think it unlocks a lot of great things for crypto, not long term, and then a lot of other great stuff. Also, we're gonna do a USDC giveaway at the end of the stream, so make sure if you haven't already, it'll be picked from the comments of this tweet here, right here, the the stream tweet. I'll pick it from randomly from the comments at the end of the stream. And as always, I want to make this stream as interactive as possible. Honestly, it's been so great over the last year to get to know a lot of you guys in the chat. I feel like some of you have become actual personal friends, and I feel like all of you guys are friends, especially right now, as the chat isn't crazy going. But yeah, let me know two things. One, where you're tuning in from the world, what country, and then whether this is your first time. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me on this Saturday. I know you could be doing anything else. I know right now it's pretty late in like the UK and everything. So see some homies in the chat though before we get started. What's up, Slay and King? Minnie, what's up, Sneak? Empathetic says, before clicking on your stream, I was watching a grilling episode. This girl in it took ecstasy for sure. Damn, that's crazy, brother. Thank you for sharing your insights, Brad. I appreciate you for being here. W Bong, appreciate you. Mini Soul. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. What's up, Gib? She says from Greenville, North Carolina. Shout out to you, Gib. I've been seeing a lot of your TikToks, man. Really professional, dude. honestly. Like the quality of the camera, the editing, everything, dude, is really quality. Keep it up, dude. I have no doubt you're gonna continue to grow. Speaking of that, if you guys see at the top right, you'll see my X, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. The TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, I've really been making an effort to grow a lot lately. There's a lot more that I need to do. You know, when I face content and all that stuff will be different, but really just trying to get as many clips as as I can out there. Really trying to grow those other socials as well. So if you guys are on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, I know most of you are. If you could do me a favor, go ahead and follow. I'm gonna have some more longer form content and more unique content other than stream clips up there soon. More IRL stuff as well. So definitely go and check that out. Shoot me a follow. Let me know you're from the stream, and I'll shoot you a follow back. So nice to be back here, Noel. Yeah, it's nice to see you, bro. Still tripping says, "Yo, what's up?" Not much, brother. Not much. Shit. I just realized we have the Hall of Mirrors here for the stream, but a few new homies following right now. What about Ralph? We'll talk about Ralph. Um, but yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Bitcoin. I always start the show looking at the majors, not only because obviously you guys know I'm a chart guy, but because Bitcoin and ETH, really Bitcoin, most. Sorry, I have to share my screen. Mostly Bitcoin drives the entire health and the direction and pretty much the entire crypto market, right? When Bitcoin, you just really go to the higher time frame charts. Bitcoin, when it is pumping and it's going up on the higher time frames, everything's doing well. I mean, the movement memes, the memes that are the top memes are doing well, going up 5, 10, 15x. You have stuff like the AI meta last year doing really well. You have these, different pockets of, obviously the pump fund volume is going extremely well. And then the opposite, when Bitcoin's in these 3 to 6 month corrections, pump fund volume dries out. You get the 5 to 10, 20 million toppers turn into the 200K, 1 million toppers. The sentiment goes down, the good vibes turn into the opposite, just despair and boredom. But this is the cycle of the market, right? And that's why I focus so heavily and talk about Bitcoin and these charts. Even if you're not a chart person, it's just Bitcoin drives the health of everything. So being able to identify kind of where we're at in the cycle, I think is extremely beneficial, even if you're not trading Bitcoin with leverage, or even if you don't hold any Bitcoin at all, right? So that's where, like I said, Bitcoin drives everything. So if we are to expect Bitcoin to go up, which I do, and which I've been saying for months, especially as you guys can see here, I had this circle drawn. I think back here in like early December, talking about how this is very likely going to be the low, and if we consolidate above it, we're going to move higher, just like we saw again at the bottom of all of these corrections. April of 2025, same thing. Bitcoin bottomed out at 77, went up, formed a low, and then went up. Same setup, different variation on the theme. But I saw that forming in November. I put out this video when I was streaming here with my buddy Jaden, where I talked about this exact same concept. How very rarely does any asset, especially Bitcoin, just V-shaped bottom out of nowhere. So, like I said in this post, I was expecting at least 2 weeks or longer, like I said, of consolidation above there and a move up into the end of December. And that's exactly what's happened. And it's not some magic. I don't have any crystal ball. It's not guessing. It's because again, I look and I study for years, really. But I know these corrective patterns, I like to call them, these different corrections and the anatomy of them and how they essentially end time and time again. Again, it's not complicated. It's the same setup at the end of these corrections every time. Is that essentially Bitcoin comes down 20 to 30% and then ends with a consolidation. Same thing here. Same thing here. This one in July. Shit, I'm not sharing my screen. Same one. Fuck. I'm gonna share my screen really quick. Same one here. Obviously in April 2025, formed a bottom at 76, went up, retested that bottom, consolidated essentially, and then went up. All-time highs. Same thing here in September, but this time was an even bigger version. 3 months of it, and what happened? All-time highs. So when I saw that consolidation start to form in November and really in December, I it really started adding to my ETH longs. For those of you guys who were in the stream, I put out, if I can find it real quickly, I put out a pretty much an ETH long setup where I gave the entries, the entries for a stop loss, obviously, stop loss, take profits, all that good stuff. Let's see if I can find it. Either way, put it out. I think let me see here. Um, Here, I can find it right here. ETH long. Hmm. Okay. I think here. I know where it's at. Here. Um, if I can't find it real quick here, but I put out the entries. I think it was at like 2,700, and oh yeah, here it is. So here's the entries here. Entry 2920, which obviously ETH was around here, went down to 20. Um, didn't go down and hit that, so it's still there. Take profit one is at 35.50, which we are still about 200 dollars away from. And then obviously I have take profits all the way up to 39.50. So again, on these streams, on the Twitter, I think the signs were there for ETH to reverse off of these lows. Again, consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. If you take anything from this chart stuff that I talk about all the time, it's that consolidation. Anytime you're looking for a major reversal on the higher time frames, especially, there's going to be some type of consolidation, meaning price is going to hold a bottom or a top and kind of chop sideways. People get really bored, really bearish, and then price reverses. This is something we see in all different markets. And it's evident time and time again. These big corrections, whether it's on the higher time frames, lower time frames, always some type of consolidation, top or bottom. And that's exactly what we saw here for Bitcoin moving up out of here. Right. So I already showed you my targets for ETH are much higher from here. Now we're going to go over the scenarios again of bear market, or are we going to all-time highs from here? Right. Just simply put, statistically, every time that Bitcoin has broken above these consolidation highs, which I've shown you 3 examples of since 2024, every time it's broken above the previous consolidation high, which is right here, back here as well, 4 out of 4 times since 2022 that this has happened, Bitcoin's gone to all-time highs every single time. So, what is Bitcoin doing right now? It already broke above the consolidation high. Now, short term, I think it's coiling up to really solidify a move back above 100, in which that time I think everybody's really going to get risk on. I think you're going to see really meme coins start to fly. This AI meta probably potentially continue to go crazy, which we'll talk about a little bit here later in the show. And then you start to see the same things that happened, like I said earlier. As Bitcoin moves up, people get more risk on, everybody piles in, the pump fund volume will come back. All of these things that survive, the meme coins will go back up. And I think Bitcoin goes back above 100K. Now, what did I tell you just right there? That every single time Bitcoin's done this setup that we're seeing complete right now with another move up, we've gone to all-time highs 4 out of 4 times. Now, you're either in the camp that you think this time is different, that for whatever reason, 1010, the October 10th washout, maybe there's some dead bodies that haven't come to the surface yet, that we're going to enter a bear market. Here's one setup you can look at over the next few weeks that can determine whether we're in a bear market like 2022 or we're going to go on to all-time highs like we have in the past few years. And that is the 200 moving average right here. Okay. I just recently added it again because I watched Benjamin Cohen and other guys, or especially him, just kind of talk about it and its relevance when it comes to these bear market and correction type things. Differentiating between a longer term bear market like we saw in 2021 and a correction like we saw the past few years in April. most recently, and that is that 200 moving average. Simply, let's go back to 2022. What did Bitcoin do at that 200 moving average? It came down from 90, or I'm sorry, 68K down to 37, from November to January, kind of like we're seeing now. Everybody got really scared. It was a bear market, but what happened here that really confirmed that bear market is that Bitcoin bounced back to that 200 moving average, the red line here, and failed to break that shit, and then it came down 75% to 18K. But what was that really, that confirmation of that is that Bitcoin bounced back to that 200 moving average. And instead of breaking above it like we've seen in 2024 in April, every time we've confirmed higher, it went up and failed to break and moved down. Right here, failing to break would have been your confirmation. And then what did it do? Broke down 75%. So really, if we're going to use historic charts, what we want to see as a final confirmation for Bitcoin here is how it behaves as it's approaching this 200 moving average, which again in 2022 was the line in the sand that that told us whether we're going in a bear market or not. So what I think is going to happen for sure, guys, like what I have very high confidence in is that this is a corrective coil up right back to the support. I'm sorry, resistance turn to support, whatever of the consolidation high. I think we're going to move back above here into 100K. I think everybody's going to get really bullish. I think you're going to see the AI stuff and probably other metas start to pop off. You're going to see MOG, SPX, Giga start to move 30, 50, maybe 2, 3x, stuff like that. But what we really want to watch, and you can put this on your chart right now. I advise you, not advise you, but you know, suggest maybe putting this on your chart if you want to watch this yourself, is on the daily chart. Go to indicators, set up SMA, and set up this daily moving average. See how we react as we approach that 200 daily moving average at 105. What I think is going to end up happening here, guys, taking everything into account with the fundamentals just being extremely bullish over the last few months for me, for Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, for crypto as a whole. I think we've crossed the chasm, like we've crossed the line of no return where blockchain and crypto is going to merge with so many different industries, from technology, obviously, to finance. They say every single market, the SEC and um, Trump and all these important people, Besant, all these people say that they're going to put all these different markets on chain. Blockchain is going to make all these things more efficient. It's going to work with AI, where AI agents and stuff can be able to transact in a decentralized, open manner. You're going to have, it's going to merge with collectibles, with NFTs, and all these different things. Crypto's reached you know, the point of no return, and I think over the next few years we're going to see crypto uh, start to blow up. Sorry, do you have something to say, Jeff? My bad. My producers thought my producer was talking to me, but okay, yeah. I'll go ahead and hit the comments. I appreciate you guys in the chat. I just wanted to get through, talking about Bitcoin because of how important I think it is here to, for everything else. And what was I saying? The Totally forgot my train of thought. Oh, yeah, I think crypto is about to merge with everything. I think it's obvious, over the next few years, and I think this whole despair, everybody down bad. I think it's a huge reset that unlocks so much upside, and I think a really bullish 2026, guys. I think what's likely to happen here is Bitcoin's going to rip to 100K, like I said, and instead of what a lot of people are assuming is going to happen, we're going to top out in just like 2022. Um, and we're going to go down and go down another 50% from here, and we're going to see bottom somehow in June or July or September or something. Now, while I think that's possible, and we will go over the setup right here to look for that, maybe if you're looking short or if you just want to be cautious or whatever, um, we'll go over that. But I think that's least likely to happen. I think what's going to end up happening here, guys, is because of all the fundamental reasons, because of institutions pouring in money. I heard this guy on Bankless talk about how he's on crypto Twitter all fucking day, and he sees everybody just depressed and just beaten up, and but then he's in the institutional world, and all these people are bullish with their capital, and they have millions and billions of dollars that they're starting to put in the new year. So I think it's yeah, I think I think over the next few years, like it's obviously extremely bullish. I think the world's going to go more digital. Crypto is going to be the money and whatever the internet. Um, and we're going to see that play out. Not only that, but I think over the next few months, guys, because of these chart setups, because of the fundamentals, the institutional stuff, which we'll talk about the Clarity Act, regulations. We'll talk about the Clarity Act, institutional stuff. Macro is only improving. They're only lowering rates with nothing breaking. And then risk assets. We have stock market at all time highs. I think all these things together with price now getting momentum. I talked about this a few weeks ago. We're getting the prices finally aligning, price action finally aligning with the bullish stuff that's already always there before prices go up. And I think it's gonna lead to all time highs, guys. I think all time highs. I think we get 126K by if you go by these past corrections, usually you see all time highs in 2 or 3 months. I think this one might be even faster. I think we're going to see all time highs for Bitcoin by the end of Q1, which would be end of March. I think it probably happens quicker. If somewhere in February probably. But I do have on Polymarket. I made a tweet about it the other day, but on Polymarket I did buy with a couple of my friends the Bitcoin making new all-time highs by I don't know why this is taking so long. Making new all-time highs by let's see if I have a VPN on, that's why. Making new all-time highs by June. I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. Making new all-time highs by June. We're definitely up on those, and I think that's a pretty safe one. I think if my base case this plays out, I think we see all time highs this summer. I think this summer everybody talks about DeFi summer. Last summer it was like something crypto summer, whatever. Didn't play out. Obviously, I think in past years the summer has kind of acted as a bear market and the bottom. I think this summer we're going to be very likely in full swing. Um, and that's what I think is going to happen, guys. I think everybody's tired. I think we've seen a huge reset, and I think what's going to happen here is Bitcoin probably rips to all time highs. We're going to see we're going to see the movement coins, the SPX Gigamogs, ticker Bitcoins, USDUC, Trolls move. We're going to see the flywheel coins like the Pumps, the Asters, the Zoras, the Uniswaps, these other ones that start to add flywheels, the Punkster, the Vibester, the ones that are in the TokenWorks things, the ones with real flywheels. All of those are going to do well. Obviously, we're going to have different metas that pop up like they always do. The AI stuff probably continues to do well. And you play this just how it is historically. Look at these different charts, and this is how it plays out every single time. This time, though, I think we really are set up for having all this institutional stuff. All these institutions have a lot of money. BlackRock, all these things have a lot of interest in crypto going up and having more mind share. And I think we're potentially lining up for maybe the craziest run that crypto's ever seen, if not the craziest one we've seen in this bull run. And due to how big of a reset this has been, Bitcoin's obviously gone up a bit, but even Bitcoin barely has moved. It's actually down over the last. It's down over the last 365 days. I think that sets up for Bitcoin to go on a crazy run in 2026 and maybe into 2027. So I think we're going to go up from here. I think all the signs are there. I think we're going to see everybody get super bullish on the way up here to 100K. And, for me, you guys know, if you've seen me on Twitter and the streams and the Telegram, all I've been doing is DCAing, not trying to not make any stupid decisions, collecting NFTs, um, collecting stuff and accumulating stuff that I think has a very high likelihood of going up and has proven itself over time, like the movement coins, like these flywheel coins, NFTs, etc. And then I'll take profits on a lot of stuff on the way up while holding a lot of long-term stuff and enjoying it. That's what I've done the last few years. That's what I did in 2024. Buying the lows of these meme coins, taking profits on the way up. That's what we did this year on a lot of coins like Pengu, SPX, all the, Pump, these other coins. And, I think it'll even be more so this year. So that's how I'm playing it. We can go over some more specific coins here in a second, but really, the people that win are the people who are able to ignore the pain and the shitty feeling of buying during these times where everybody thinks it's a bear market and So whatever, and then taking profits on the way up when everybody is thinking we're going to go up forever and everybody's just starting to buy. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to the chat before we continue. I know we have some people in here. Wow, 422 people in here at on a Saturday. I know, or at least views, whatever, on a Saturday at this time is fire. So appreciate everybody being here. We're just going over Bitcoin right now and how I think on this next leg up, we're really going to see the market get risk on. We'll go over some specific coins. If you guys could do me a few things, if you could follow, obviously, if you haven't already, if you're new to the stream, first of all, welcome. Appreciate you for being here on Saturday. We do these streams usually Tuesdays and Fridays. Schedule's been a little off the last few weeks, but you know, Tuesdays and Fridays. Appreciate you guys for being here. If you could, one, do me a few things. One, let me know where you're tuning in from. Two, if this is your first time in the stream, and if it's not, let me know. What you've been up to. What you think is going to happen over the market. Something interesting you want to talk about. What's it called? A chart request, comments, questions, all that. I'm going to go ahead and get to the chat here for a second. Minnie says, I follow you. I always appreciate it, bro. I know a lot of you guys are pulling up from the Telegram. The market feels like 2023, right before the 2024 run. Let's see, 2023, right before. Yeah, dude, I agree. Like I said, these corrections, especially if you look at the higher time frame charts, they just repeat the same theme over and over again, guys. It's essentially we get maybe a few weeks or a few months of consolidation coming down hard, usually pretty choppy, and then what are you looking for the bottom is some type of consolidation, usually holding a certain low for 2 to 8 weeks. Usually that's how it's been, and then move up to all-time highs. That's how it's been every single time. I think what a lot of people do is they get caught up in their emotions. They get caught up on looking on the lower time frame charts, and they don't see these patterns. Again, lower time frames, I look at them too. I use them for entries and to look for these kind of lower time frame corrections. But really the real alpha and what's going to be able to really solidify, at least for me, my bias, or my conviction, during these shit times, is looking at the higher time frames. That's where most of the repeatable patterns that happen over and over again are. So I agree though. I need a long signal for Sol. Let's go ahead and look at Sol. I've really just been looking at Bitcoin, but I think ETH is really the cleanest corrective setup of the three. And why I'm extremely bullish too. ETH is yet to what I told you guys earlier on the top of the show. Consolidation highs. Every time that Bitcoin specifically has broken above its consolidation high, which is again when it consolidates, makes a high, that previous high there, whenever it breaks above it for Bitcoin, 4 out of 4 times since 2022, Bitcoin's broken above that, gone to all-time highs every single time, right? So this is a very, very powerful setup. Is once price does break above the all-time highs, not only does it go back to all-time highs, but it's very fast and quick. You look at last time ETH broke above its consolidation highs back in May. What happened? Quickly, ETH went from 2,600 to 4,600. I know because I was long during this time. If you guys were on the stream, you caught it with us. If you were trading with leverage, but yeah, I expect much of the same to happen. But this time, what did I say? Like I said, this big reset, I think, is very likely going to lead us above 46, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, etc. And at that time, just to touch a little bit on ETH, my buddy Hemdog on our Twitter Spaces, which if you guys haven't already checked out those Twitter Spaces every Thursday, we're doing them now at I think the last one I think was at 4 p.m. PST, so 7 p.m. EST. He's been saying for the longest time that NFTs specifically uh, are very likely going to run, and he thinks this thesis that NFTs and a lot of meme coins are going to run a lot harder once ETH breaks above this 5-year, 4.5-year, whatever it may end up being or this high at 4,800. That's where we're really going to see NFTs and a lot of these other risk assets take off, because as ETH hits new all-time highs in USD, it only takes a small amount of that ETH to go into these NFTs to send them up like crazy. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And ETH is in just such a fucking clean corrective setup. I talk about this all the time. Corrective channels, some consolidation usually up top, but very choppy in nature. You'll see these on the higher time frames, lower time frames. Again, correction, but very choppy. Multiple lows and highs formed in this channel like structure, really what you're looking for to end these channels too is some type of consolidation. What do we see here on ETH? Same thing as Bitcoin, consolidation for a month and a half, and then we shifted off this low. ETH, same kind of thing, guys. I think ETH sitting right is correcting this choppy like coil up right below this consolidation high. As long as we can break above here at 30, 34, I think it's going to be off to the races, off to 38, 39, and we're really going to see risk on for memes and alts. And if this is the all-time high, same thing with the 200 moving average, except it's closer for ETH. So I don't want to spend too much time on here. I know a lot of you guys probably want to hear about the AI meta. If you guys have any of those AI charts or any chart really you want me to look at, I will get to those in about 5 to 10 minutes. Leave them in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and retweet real quickly. I'll let you guys do that. I'm gonna go ahead and quote tweet the stream real quickly here. Like I said, if you guys, while I'm doing that, if you could like, comment, retweet, share, always appreciated, especially on a Saturday. Quote, yo, we're live. I hope that typing's not too crazy in your guys' in the mic. All right. Okay, perfect. So, I'm gonna go back to the chat, catch up with all your guys' cool comments. Mogcoin is for the gays. Just saying, damn. I don't know, brother. I think Mogcoin's gonna go fucking insane. I love you too, bro. Damn, you're on fucking YouTube. Who is this on Twitter? You have the same name. Appreciate you for being on there. Waiting for White Whale run back. Yeah, we'll go over White Whale. I think that's a good one to start with here in a second. Yo, MKT, what is up, brother? Thank you for being here, man. Bren, talk about your target for Sol, please. Yeah. That's what we'll do. I want to finish up Sol before we move on from the majors. Yo, what's good, Bren? Tell me for Pump. Yes, Pump. Okay, I'm gonna write these down here, guys. We're gonna do right after this. We're doing Pump. What was the other one? Somebody said White Whale. White Whale is a fucking cook. Let me know in the chat too. Did you guys hit White Whale? I called it or whatever talked about it here on stream and on Twitter and everywhere else at 3.5 million. It went down under a million. I could have bought a fucking percent of it, but of course I didn't, like an idiot. I know a lot of us probably have had these stories, whatever. But still had a decent chunk. Took about 50% off on the way up, and we'll talk about what I think is going to happen with White Whale next. Pump, White Whale. Leave any other chart requests you want me to do in the chat as well. We'll get to those. I'll make sure to here. I'm plugging in my okay. Holla says DeFi Drunk. DeFi Drunk is a crazy name too. Crypto Carl, what is up, brother? Thank you for reposting the stream. Hope you're doing well. Are we going up or down from here? I think up, bro. I think the corrections on Bitcoin are either Bitcoin ESOL are either over or very, very close. We can recap that here in a second. Rojam, what is up, bro? Thank you for being here, man. What does 200 daily moving action mean? So the moving average, that's a good question. What is the 200 daily moving average? What is a moving average in general? So a moving average essentially is a average price of a certain amount of time. So 200 moving average on the daily means the average price that price has been at over the last 200 days, which is confusing. You can look into that, what that really means. But the way I use it is it's really a momentum indicator and really a indicator of where we're at in the trend or cycle. Historically, I showed it at the top of the show. It's really specifically useful for me in determining whether we're in a bear market or like 2022, where Bitcoin essentially came down just like we did this year, right? At the end of the year, but bounced to this 200 daily moving average and then came down 75%. It was kind of the line in the sand before the bear market was confirmed, right? Here, that's exactly what I'm using it for. Inversely, you see how Bitcoin's corrected over the last few years, Carl. I hope you're still on here. I'm not talking to myself, but 72K coming, see how it came down. It came back down under that 200 moving average. The 50, which is the blue, crossed under. That's what a lot of people call the death cross. But what happened? Bitcoin bottomed out under this consolidation, right? And then went to all-time highs after it crossed back above that red 200 moving average, right? Same thing here in April. Came back down, death cross, came back up to above that 200 moving average, and then it was all-time highs after that. So for me, it's really a line in the sand. It's really going to determine whether Bitcoin's going to crush right through it and go back to all-time highs like we saw in April and all these other times, the other times the last few years, or is price going to do this instead, where here, I'm going to undo that, just hide it. Where is price going to do this instead, Carl, where, it's coiled up, but it goes up, boom, comes up, maybe goes to 100K, kind of peters out, and then goes boom, down one more time. Kind of, everybody's worst fear, right? Now, I think what this is going to have to come with is going to be some unforeseen stuff, like the Iran war, or Iran strike or something that happens, just goes haywire, and it just creates this something that isn't there already. Because I think with the current fundamentals, guys, I think Bitcoin just goes to all-time highs. Really. I think I put it now, even with it, especially with this momentum and the setup we're looking at now, I put it at an 80% probability. Again, that's just a gut feeling based on everything else too. But, still play devil's advocate. What we're looking for that 20% bear market setup is, I think we're going to come up one more time. Maybe it chops, this is the bear market's, the bear market setup is it comes up one more time, kind of chops to the sideways, doesn't break that 200 red moving average, and then heads back down one more time. I think this is possible. I don't think it's likely, but that's what I'd be looking for that to happen. And in that case, I would just probably cut my longs, which again, we have a long ETH long from 2,500. An ETH long from 2,500, as you guys can see here. Entry 2,900, sorry. Take profit one is at 35. We haven't hit that yet, but I think it comes. Same thing with ETH. You can do the same thing. Just for Sol, though, I know you asked about that, bro. My bad. Same thing. It really, to keep it simple, I talked about in the Telegram channel that Sol swept these lows here and then went up. I really like this price action. Very bullish on Sol, and I think it's going to continue up here as well. The 200 moving average on Sol's above price here at 170, pretty high up, but I think it's going to crush right through. So yeah, guys, I think we're going to looking at upside here, and very likely all-time highs for Bitcoin over the next few months. I think this summer is going to be a very bullish time. If we have to put a time period on it, but I expect into the end of winter, into fall and spring, I expect this is going to be a very bullish time for crypto. Not fall, I'm sorry, into spring. But let me go ahead and finish the chat. Great question, Carl. Whoa, so this is a healthy correction then? Yes, I think this is a healthy correction. TA for Swissborg Alt. Yeah, let me go ahead and write that down. Swissborg Alt. Man, it feels good to get back streaming, guys. I haven't done it in like a week. Especially during a quiet period like this. It's always good to get a nice reset for Bitcoin and everything else. Again, while I'm doing this, if you guys could like, comment, retweet, follow if you haven't already, so we can get this out here, get it out, stream out there, especially on a Saturday. Always appreciated. Right now, we're finishing up kind of the majors and how I think this is really going to be a bullish time we're entering, which is going to ignite everything else like it always does, I think. So, what was I doing? Swissborg Alt. Yeah, I wrote that down. Okay. I always enjoy how you explain your chart. I appreciate that, brother. That's what I try to do is, I don't know, I try to break down what is really complex and try to make it as simple as possible without, making it too simple, right? A lot of this stuff it takes time to see a lot of times, but it's simple, but it's not easy to see if you're not looking at the right stuff. So, Brent, what do you think of the BNB chain? I never traded on BSC, but it's looking promising. What I think is going to happen, dude, is I think we're going to enter a period here where everything's going to get bullish. ETH's going to go above all-time highs, and I think we're going to get a retail mania. I think we saw it with Chill Guy. starting to come up in January. Trump kind of came around. Um, Sorry, I got a text. Trump kind of came around. Bitcoin topped out in November. Like I said, Bitcoin drives everything. Bitcoin topped out in November. And then, that was kind of the end. We're not going to have, obviously, going to have a TikTok meta in the mainstream when Bitcoin's coming down. So, what I think is going to happen is Bitcoin's going to go above all time highs and we're going to really get a sustained retail mania. I think the world is ready for it in a sense that meme coins have been in the zeitgeist. It's been in the people's minds and psyche for so many years in the mainstream. There's bad branding on it right now, but sports gambling, even trading, like stock trading and stuff, has become so popular now that I think it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to take, but one or two launches doing well that I think people are going to do on chain trading like they do sports betting and all that. And in that world, I think we're going to get a crazy retail mania to where there's going to be BSC is going to do well because CZ's even saying what I'm saying right now. He's saying that we're going to see a super cycle, right? You hear me say digital asset super cycle. CZ saying this. You hear me saying it. It's like whatever. Right? Like this guy's just making predictions, but it's CZ. CZ actually runs the fucking crypto market, and bro's telling you super cycle incoming. Obviously, he has a lot of incentive to drive it. He's probably going to take Binance public and all that shit, but I think it's going to result in the entirety of the crypto market going crazy. I think on-chain trading is going to go crazy. I think there's a really good case to make that Besant and these people over the next few years are very incentivized to push people into stable coins because stable coins buy up US treasuries, which would prop up and really increase the dollar dominance around the world. In order for them to do that, BlackRock and all these guys need to get digital wallets in the hands of everybody around the world. And what that starts with is stable coins, and then it goes to NFTs, and then it goes to meme coins, and then all these different things. I think adoption is just coming. And BSC, I know this is a long-winded answer, brother, but I think BSC is going to take up a big chunk of that. Your name's Girl Tardio. I hope that you're not a girl and I just call you brother. Let's see. Girl Tardio. I don't know if this is a whatever, but either way, do you think it's going to be Sol around this year? Yeah, I think Sol's going to do well. Bitcoin to 300K from now till next year. Yes, I think it's possible. That'd be a 3x in Bitcoin. Obviously, it would have to be more of a 2017 type cycle, but I think it's possible, dude. Yeah, always ignore the noise. Bren, always review. Can you review PsyOp anime? Yeah. I'm gonna get to those in just a second. I have a lot of them written down. PsyOp anime. That's quite a fucking name. Bren, please. Yeah. He said Mexico here. Girl Tardio. Yeah, I think TA on Soul. It's good. Uranus is down 90% from all-time highs. Been consolidating from over 2 months. Let's look at Uranus really quickly, dude. I haven't looked at that in a minute. Shout out to MKT, who is a friend of the show. That guy's a fucking hustler, young hustler. Share my screen. So yeah, I agree. This is a similar setup. I do like MKT, even though it's down 90%. It's been consolidating for over a month. Shit, it didn't share. It's been consolidating for over a month, which I think is going to very well could result in, like I think we watched this. We marked this up like maybe last week on the last stream, 2 weeks ago maybe, and it is holding this low. I think it is going to shift up, and probably go back. Probably very well could go back to all time highs if we do get that kind of meme season that I think is coming. So I can't believe 45 minutes has already gone by. I appreciate you guys. Okay, fam. Right. Thanks for the confirmation, Brent. Can't wait for a good run later this year. Yes, sir. I can't either. Do you think Soul NFTs will get a run also? Yeah, I think so too. I think so. Which ones? I can't fucking tell you, bro. I would assume, what is it? There's Mad Lads or one of them that I've kind of stuck around. I mean, we just go to freaking Magic. Oh, Magic Eden's has a Soul, right? So, I mean, what are the top ones? Fragana. I've heard people talk about that. That's at 1 Soul. Obviously, yeah, you have the SMBs, which have held 14 Soul, which is pretty decent, right? That's 14 Soul. That's about 3 or 4K. That's like a 1 ETH floor. You have DeGods, Claynosaurs. They are their main collection is on ETH, or is this a separate collection? Either way, Claynosaurs, I still see them around, right? So these are names that if we do get some type of bounce back for NFTs, which I think are possible, very possible that these are names that are probably going to go up. Other than that, I mean, Lil Chillers, maybe there's a case to be made if you think Chill House is going to bounce back. Lil Chillers might be one, but to answer your question overall, yeah, I think Solana will have runners for NFTs. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask what happens crypto if global interest rates start falling. I think interest rates are good for business conditions. Business conditions are good for the stock market going up, and stock market going up is generally good for risk assets and crypto going up. So I think it's kind of a flywheel of bullishness of like it's not it's impossible to guess what's going to happen day to day, week to week, month to month, really. Everybody has different things, but I think over multiple years, lower interest rates are good for risk assets, especially crypto. And I think eventually leads to more money printing too. Can you look at Ava AI? I'll write that down. My question is from your last stream earlier this week. I missed your response when you were asked when Bitcoin is likely to flip gold. Yeah, I don't think I think I asked FFV that, and I don't know if he gave me. I don't know. I don't remember what his answer was, but what do I think is going to happen? Dude, that it's tough. I think Bitcoin right now is. I mean, let's just go to the top assets chart. Um, Ranked assets by market cap. We have gold at 31 trillion, and you have Bitcoin down at 1 trillion. So, obviously, gold has pulled away quite crazy and is now over 15x away from Bitcoin is 15x away from gold. So when does that happen? I don't know. Bitcoin would have to go on quite the run. Gold would have to probably slow down for several years again. Is it possible? Yeah. I think Bitcoin is going to trend up against gold. Does that start happening this week? I don't know, but I think Bitcoin is digital gold, and eventually is going to trend up against gold. I think. Does it flip? Probably, but that could be in 3 years from now. Bitcoin goes on a crazy ass run, gold slows down, or it could be in 10, 15 years from now. I don't know. I think both are going to go up, and I think Bitcoin's going to go up more from here. Yeah, I'm going to look at PsyOp anime here in a second. He said, thanks for the shout out. Yes, I am a DeFi drunk. Dude, at least you're honest. What's your drink of choice, bro? Can you check out Mystic DAO and your opinions on GameFi? Yeah, I'll look at Mystic DAO right now. I've been hearing a lot about that on the timeline. I think GameFi, um, as far as the thing on crypto Twitter, I don't know if really about that, but I think simply first principles, blockchain, just like it's the future of finance, like it's the future of collectibles, I think it's the future of gaming. I think blockchain, crypto, blockchain tokenization, NFTs essentially make everything more efficient, especially gaming. I think even if you didn't have crypto or NFTs, if you just simply broke down to the average person that we're going to live in a world someday where every player owns their assets and they can buy and trade and sell, and they're not on a game like Fortnite, which has been the most successful and the most popular game outside of Roblox for the next over the last 10 fucking years, and yet you can't sell somebody your skin. You can't sell any of those skins that you bought on the open market other than selling your account. If you told somebody like we're going to live in a more efficient world where you're going to be able to own those assets and that you're going to be able to sell them for a lot or for a little, and be able to move those assets in and out of different games, I think most people would be like, yeah, that sounds like a better world. That sounds like it makes sense. That sounds like what's going to eventually happen, right? Now, you add the word crypto and all these different buzzwords, it pisses people off, and the gamers and stuff fud it because they think it's a money grab. But I mean, you look at any technology in history, right? This is cliche, but the credit cards, cars, electricity, the internet, AI right now, everything gets fudded. There's, they literally say it's going to be the end of the world is going to hurt people, but then it really makes everything like way more efficient and the world better. And I think it's going to do the same for gaming. Another long-winded answer, but I think crypto gaming is and blockchain gaming is um sorry, blockchain gaming is just the future. I think whether it takes a couple years or whatever, and I think something like GTA or somewhere else really could really pop it off at any time. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it's in the next few years. I really think it could be. I think NFTs, making any of these big games or smaller ones that blow up, making every item an NFT, and maybe having a stable coin in game currency is the future. What were you gonna say, Jesse? What word? Oh, my bad. Let me finish up on the chat here, and we're gonna go ahead and get to all those charts you guys did. It's possible you see NFTs making moves this year, like the wave of 2021. Yeah, I think it will. I think it'll be a little bit less speculative and more like collectible collecting, like Pokemon is. Like, there's a lot of speculation around Pokemon, but there's a lot of motherfuckers who are just. I see on these videos. I don't know if you guys see on TikTok these clips of people going up and buying cards at these shows and shit. There's a lot of people out there who are just like looking for a $5 or $10 card to complete their collection, right? I think NFTs up until this point, until the last year, last couple months, has really been really highly just been about speculation, speculation, speculation. I think it's gonna be more collecting, but I think certain prices are going to go to 2021 levels. What GameFi option are you looking at? Not much right now. RWA is a bridge between TradFi and DeFi. Yeah, one of them. Have you talked about the Clarity Act? No, I'll do that right now too. What does early actually mean in today's market? Yeah, let's see. Are DAOs still relevant? What's the big deal about CryptoPunk? Do they have IP rights? So CryptoPunks, the reason why they are the top dog and really why they don't have to do anything from here, and they're still going to be the top dog, is because of the story, right? NFTs as a technology, CryptoPunks were the original 10K. They weren't the original NFT, right? There's Crypto Strikers, I believe, and I think Curio cards actually are a little bit older than CryptoPunks, but NFTs, CryptoPunks were the first NFT that a first 10K NFT, right? Where every 10K collection, where there's 10K of these things, um, and essentially started the meta. It has the original provenance story and collectibles, and and all these different things. We see how important um, provenance and being the original collectible is. And CryptoPunks is that. They're the original one. They're really a status symbol. They're the original 10K PFP project. To whereas crypto, especially now, grows into this huge, massive thing. They're the original. They're the first one. And it'll continue to be that way. And I think that's why they're going to go to 1 million. And the IP, as far as the IP rights, they've had an interesting history, right? They first were started by what was it called? That Matt and that other guy, but I forgot what the labs are, right? They started Meebits and stuff too, and then they sold off to Yuga a couple years ago, right? And they sold the IP to them. They sold a huge treasury of the CryptoPunks, and then at that point, it was kind of unclear what they were going to do with them, right? Were they going to do something with them, or are they just going to leave them be? And then now somebody else bought them, like a group bought them. They're going to, I supposedly leave them be and kind of put them in museums or something. So to answer your question, CryptoPunks, they don't have IP rights to the actual people. It's whoever owns them owns the IP. But from what I don't think they're going to do anything with them. There's nothing they really need to do. They're just the original collectible. They're the original art 10K PFP NFT project, and for that reason, I think they're going to go to 1 million plus. I'm actually shopping for a punk right now. I'm not going to tell you which one, or else one of you fuckers might steal it. But great to have you back on a weekend, good sir. Thanks for being here, bro. What's one crypto mistake you swear you never repeat? Holding too long, right? Not taking profits. It's always it. Which coin you hurt the most last cycle? Hurt you the most? Hurt me the most? There was a few that I was pretty sized into that got wrecked. Harambe being one of them, right? Didn't go too crazy because it was like a 10 million whatever coin, but I was a pretty big holder in Harambe and got rinsed. Does that one bounce back? I don't know. But Yeah, I would probably say Harambe. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over some of these charts you guys are talking about really quickly here. Let's just go over the AI meta again. I really have not been tapped in as far as like each individual coin. Been pretty distracted as far as being on chain and trading as much. But obviously these coins went crazy for multiple days. Obviously January 7th all the way through the 15th saw a lot of follow through, which is bullish. Um, around this whole AI meta that's kind of coming back around, AI agent stuff, but as well as other different kind of things. Do I think this kind of stuff continues? I think there's gonna continue to be different bubbles and different narratives around AI because it's such a such a dominant force in the world, and I think crypto merging with AI is going to be a huge thing. So and there's these kind of smaller meme coin type metas that are popping up. Those are going to be up and down. There's going to be certain ones that do well, but I think the Taos and all these other ones are going to continue to do actually really well. So um, let me see here. Let me get back to the chat really quick. Can you? Okay. But Ralph, does this do well? I don't know. Again, a lot of you guys who have been trading this type of stuff, you could probably tell me more and the way you think about it. Again, I don't know if these individual coins or the specific ones are going to continue, but I will tell you this does look like a pretty corrective setup, despite it being down 60%. I do think Ralph, if you want to see this recover, 60-70% corrections pretty healthy. Um, but you want to see it bounce back above this consolidation high here at 25 million, and from there I think it could definitely move back higher. I don't want to, I don't have a crazy opinion on this where I feel so strongly about the project and everything going on to where I can give a definitive answer of like, I'm super bullish on this versus something else. But that's kind of what you're looking at chart wise. Gas, that's another one, right? Kind of let us out of this type of thing. Same kind of thing. I actually drew this last stream and it's coming out perfect, kind of playing out. It's down 75%. That's a big correction here. But let me see here. Big correction here. And I think if you do believe this narrative is going to continue, this is the time you want to add. If you think the narrative's done, I'm seeing a lot of this stuff with Bags app obviously becoming the dominant launch pad, right? Um, I think both. I think there's going to be enough, volume to go around over the next few years that where there's going to be Bags app, there's going to be, Pump Fund. Those both going to do well. As far as this is the time you want to buy this if you think this meta is going to continue, right? I don't have a strong opinion overall on the meta continuing. I would say overall most of these things do have more follow through if the majors do bounce. So this might be a great opportunity to get into to gas. It might not. You guys can let me know what you think in the chat. But I'm going to start to knock out some of these charts you guys asked for a bit ago. Starting with Pump. Somebody asked about Pump. Pump to me is one of the bigger non-movement coins that I've been accumulating a lot of. Already moved out of this correction here. Made a post in the Telegram pretty much at the very bottom and on Twitter too, I think, talking about how Pump Fund is a no-brainer. Pump Fund, everybody talks about the burning, the buy and burn, not really doing much for price. But even when it was going up, Pump Fund volumes were at like all-time fucking lows during this time. I think once Pump Fund volumes go up, when Bitcoin goes up, we're going to see a huge buy and burn that's going to contribute to a huge pump in Pump. So to me, I'm extremely bullish on Pump. I think it makes new all-time highs as big when Bitcoin does during that time, and I think Pump is a no-brainer. I think the flywheel coins, these coins attached to revenue-producing protocols, are going to do extremely well, and I think Pump is going to go into the billions and potentially a $10+ billion coin eventually as market conditions heat up again. So I'm continuing to accumulate Pump. I think it's a great high cap play that goes much higher from here over the next few years. Um, but let me see here. I have obviously other coins here. We have Pump, White Whale. Obviously, White Whale been such an amazing play and kind of kicked off this other coins kind of having a lot of follow through. Obviously incredible run. as you can see here, we had an average entry of 3.5 mil at around early December. Obviously price came down to 3 mil. I just held my bag. I wish I would have bought more, but just wasn't paying attention. Went back here. This would have really been the time to buy a lot more when it was consolidating for about a week above 2 mil. And then it sent from 2 mil all the way up to $200 million market cap in a matter of fucking 3 weeks, guys. Like 22, 23 days, whatever the hell this is. Absolutely fucking nuts. That's 100x in 3 weeks from literally just buying and holding a coin. That is like everybody's fucking dream. You can just buy a coin and it goes up endlessly. This is the type of stuff we used to see in 2021 all the time. And to me, I saw this as a very bullish time. It was the first very bullish sign for the rest of the market, despite everybody else, saying, to, it's, I've taken some profits on the way up, maybe at like 25 one time and then another around 100. And where does it go from here? It's tough, right? There's a lot of supply control with this. I think the white whale is kind of different when it comes to being just really tapped in with Twitter. Again, what I'm doing with this is I'm holding my 50% either way. I'm still up over 20x on this position. So it could go down another 40, 50%. And I'm good with holding and taking profits there because I've already taken so much. But with that being said, with the way this is looking, with no consolidation up top, with how the white whale's running it, seems like he has a long-term vision with it. With meme coins and crypto conditions looking like they're going to turn around here, I think white whale very likely makes another run at least into the hundreds of millions. I do admit it is a pretty tough narrative to like really be bullish on. Not be bullish on it, but it's like they're going to have to create more things around it, other narratives other than just white whale is going to have to grow and to be way huger in itself, or maybe there's I don't know. There's already kind of a cult forming behind it. So I'm bullish on it in the short term. I think it very likely does make a move back to all time highs. I'm personally 50% out of it and I'm just letting it ride. So I don't know. I do think it very likely makes another run though. We're gonna look at PSYOP anime first and then Swiss Borg. PSYOP anime. Am I reading that right? No? PSYOP anime, no? Oh, oops. Okay. PSYOP anime. Kind of a funky looking chart, not gonna lie. Um, Very corrective to the downside here. It's just chopping up now, kind of slowly, but it has broken out of that channel. I think it very likely is going to chop and then send back to all time highs, bro. Just based on what this is looking, also to inverse head and shoulders, I think we're looking at here, to where you got shoulder here, head here that came down, formed that head, and then boom, another shoulder here. What I think is going to happen here is maybe chop back here. Probably leaves both of these lows here, especially this one open at 7 mil. Probably leaves this one at 9 mil as well, untouched, and then probably keeps sending. If it does clear above all time highs, it probably goes higher. I don't know anything about PSYOP anime. Is this a fucking AI coin? I don't know. But either way, price action is pretty bullish. Even if you go down to the lower time frames, I think this also looks pretty fucking corrective as well. So yeah, I think what's going to end up happening is very likely is going to continue to chop up the rest of the market. So it's pretty bullish price action. Looks pretty flaggy slash channely. So I like it. I like the way it looks. PSYOP anime and then Swiss Borg. Swiss Borg. Appreciate everybody, dude. 1,100 views on at this time. Like at this time, through the stream in an hour, and especially on a fucking Saturday. Is great. So it tells me again, I think we're just kind of in like a no man's land for crypto, in the sense that we're up off. Just to go back to Bitcoin really quick, like we're up off of like these, and again, that's not what I think is going to happen necessarily, guys. But not to scare you, we were just talking about the bear case, but I think crypto's kind of in this no man's land where yes, we are off of this low here, right? We're off of these lows at 84K. Everybody was bearish, right? I remember I was talking to FFE, and he was talking about himself and other people as well. Think that we're just going to continue to chop for months, and it's just going to be an off year, and nothing's going to happen. Um, and we moved up here to about 90K. I don't know if you knew, for guys noticed, but for a few days, everybody got super bullish again. We saw meme coins start to move up. Obviously, this AI stuff starting to pop off. And then over the last few days, as Bitcoin's been chopping down, kind of been slowing down, right? Where we still have that, like, not everybody's super bearish. Not everybody's like sending out depression tweets, but at the same time, we're not super bullish either. So I think what's going to end up happening is on this next, we're coiling up. All the charts, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol are coiling. I think they're going to head up higher soon. And on this next leg to 100K, that's where we're really going to see everybody get fucking bullish and kind of risk on. So the fact that we have everybody on here on a Saturday tells me that there's still people paying attention. I think people are kind of just waiting for the market to really get bullish, um, to really go crazy. And again, historically, we're in a great place. Every time Bitcoin's broken above these consolidation highs, like here at 88K, like here at 63K, like here at 43K, it's gone to all-time highs very quickly within a few months. Is this time different? Are we gonna fucking go up and then come back down like in 2022? I don't think so. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think we're still in a bear market, or do you kind of believe what I believe, that the charts and everything else are pointing to very likely us moving back to all time highs? Let me know in the chat. Can you check REI and KTA on base? Yeah, we'll look at that too. REI real quickly. Oh, Ray Network. Is this it? You have to let me know. Is it Ray Network? I don't know if that's the right one. Please, which AI coins have the strongest continuation? I think Ralph and Gas look pretty good, but if you guys send me a few other ones, I could look. What's up, Carl? How's it going? Brent, please coming back to NFTs. What would confirm the start of a true NFT season this cycle? Oh, what would confirm it? I think just prices just going, momentum. There's a few different ways it could go down. I think that's the tech. There's going to be some type of development, very likely, with NFTs used in verification and authentication with Rolex or any of these big luxury brands. But like my boy Hemdog has been saying, and we've been talking about on the streams, my boy Jaden as well, Jaden Levitt and Hemdog, saying that once ETH reaches all time highs again, it's very likely going to send a lot of money. All it would take is a little bit of that ETH going back into all time highs. I'm sorry, into these NFTs for it to really send prices higher again. So I think there's going to be a momentum thing. And then also over the next few years, if there was GTA or Rolex or PSA or any of these people using NFTs as technology, I think that really could push us really into like a mainstream adoption type thing. So I think it'll be prices going up and then some type of mainstream catalyst. Always just appreciate the stream. Yeah, towards the end here, I'm going to do a giveaway as well. Probably hang out here for another 20-ish minutes, 20, 30 minutes, maybe longer. Depends how lit it's still. Dude, there's a lot. Wow. Appreciate everybody commenting on this shit. 77. Yo, 5:30 on the East. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Need some hopium. Yo, shout out to DJ Nas. Shout out to Bossman. Shout out to Danny. Uh, we miss you so much, man. I thought you stopped streaming because you didn't stream. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, bro. Again, been distracted. It's fucking life, but I'm good. Don't. It's nothing to worry about. But it's yeah, I can't be doing that anymore, especially with these momentum we've been having this last couple weeks with having FFV on, which is fucking amazing. Shout out to that guy. If you guys are not following FFV, like, this isn't even like some glazy shill. Like, even if I wasn't connecting, this guy wasn't my friend, I would be saying this. Like, one of the most valuable dudes on crypto Twitter. The fact that he's just gone through these different narratives and metas and shit, whatever you want to call them, over the last few years, meme coins, InfoFi, NFTs. Obviously, he's a big NFT guy, and did it in a way where he's just authentic and just talking about his experiences and teaching people what he can, while also being real and humorous and all this shit. Like, this guy's fucking great. So if you're looking for just a positive individual and just somebody who has a lot of good info and reports a lot of news and different shit too. Definitely check him out. He's also been streaming a lot lately. But yeah, we had him on last week. I did Craig and Greeny show, which was great. So definitely, yeah, I can't be doing that no streaming for a week thing. Definitely gonna keep at it, bro. So I appreciate you saying that, Danny. Oh, you said that in the chat or in the comments. We're gonna talk about finish some more AI stuff. We'll talk about NFTs and stuff also to finish the show. Just want to um, make sure I got to everybody in the comments. Let's go. Missed you. Yeah. Appreciate you. MKT, thank you, brother. Oh, also, if you guys haven't already, I know a lot of you guys are in the Telegram chat already, but if you haven't, check out two things. Boss Man Calls Telegram channel. Oops, gotta share my screen again. Boss Man Calls Telegram channel. That's where you'll find all my like in-depth trade ideas and stuff I post about different stuff on Twitter. Twitter's a lot of it's fun. There's a lot of setups I post on there too, but like in-depth trade ideas, streams sometimes, like videos, giveaways, as well as my obviously business partner, good friend Bossman posts a lot of good stuff and meme coins and other stuff as well. Been working together for 3 years. The channel is at 300 subs. I think we started in November of 2023 up to 40,000 subs in 2025, 2026 here. It's been fucking incredible blessing. I know a lot of you guys are in the chat right now. Let me know if you are from this, the channel in the chat. But uh, people from all over the world, especially seeing you guys on Instagram, the guys, who've been following me on Instagram as well, just seeing you guys from all over the fucking world, from all walks of life, like it's been absolutely incredible. But besides that, it's a free group, a lot of good value in there. We've hit pretty much a lot of the great plays this year from Pump, Pengu, SPX, Pump. I already said that. A lot of the great plays this year posted in there first. So go ahead and pop in there if you haven't already, and then also Bossman himself. Obviously, if you aren't following him, I don't know what the fuck you're doing as well. So definitely check out Bossman, and then yeah, Brennan Bossman need to be early Mystic DAO. Then I think it'll be over. Yeah, I'm gonna go and look at Mystic DAO for you in a second too. Hey man, I just joined Crypto Meme Coins and I'm late to crypto. I came in across January 2026. First of all, welcome. I'm glad I was able to catch your comment so quick. First of all, let me know while I'm answering a question where you found this. Is it from the channel on Telegram? Was it from Twitter? Either way, thank you so much for following the streams. Also, everybody make sure to follow, comment stuff as well. I think I said this a while back, but I wasn't able to finish it until getting close recently. But I am working on like a in-depth trading series of a series of videos, you know, breaking down and simplifying a lot of this stuff that I talk about on the stream as far as charts, psychology, all these different things that I will go and give free to the chat at some point. So make sure to follow and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next stream. So Mahira though, um, first of all, congrats. I mean, dude, that's awesome. I think it's a great time to be involved in on-chain trading. I think first and foremost, a few things that I can tell you is that it's a balance. You want to be involved in crypto as much as you can in your free time and studying and following great people. Watching streams, getting in the Telegram channels like this, following great people that you can learn from, follow their tweets, their streams, all that good stuff. Stick around, watch charts, while at the same time not becoming so over obsessive and going too crazy with it. It's kind of a battle. It's a battle and like a whatever of kind of working your ass off in the short term, kind of sticking around, studying multiple hours a day, kind of trying stuff, trading, all that, while also giving yourself macro patience and understand that like anything, doesn't matter if you're a doctor, especially in the markets when there's so much going on, it takes years sometimes. Some people get lucky and they do really well within a year, but I would argue that that's kind of tough because you don't have to learn the skills, and a lot of people learn it and then get depressed and never come back, right? What you want to do is essentially the best case scenario for you is that you learn as much as you can over the next few years while also being profitable and making some money. But the number one thing you need to focus on is if you want to make crypto a long term thing, you want it to be your thing and fucking not retire, but you know not have to work a job or whatever your goal may be, is that you want to learn the skills and be able to make it repeatable, whether that's in the charts, on chain, chart studying, not chart, on chain, studying on chain stuff, whatever it may be. You get the skills, you'll be able to print forever as long as crypto's around. So that's what I would give you. You know, don't be so hard on yourself if you don't see, make a lot of money right away, and just stick around, bro. I appreciate you for being here. I think this is a great time. I think crypto is just reaching that point of no return where it's prices are down 50, 75, 90%, but we're kind of in that place where it's made it and we're about to see adoption over the next few years. So I think it's a great time. I heard it about on Instagram first. I learned about it and still doing it. Oh, Bossman calls. Okay. Hell yeah, bro. Thank you for being here. DeFi Drunk says, I miss the good old days in the Bossman chat when there used to be back-to-back cooks and so much fun. Yeah, man. This year we've had some pretty decent fucking plays, but yeah, you're right, man. There was nothing really like 2024, and I do think we get back there, but thanks for hanging out in the meantime, brother. Heard about it on Instagram first. Okay. Fuck yeah, bro. We'll stick around. Definitely follow me on Instagram, the Boss Man Calls Telegram channel. Stick around for the streams. Like I said, I've been lagging, but I will have a kind of chart series, potentially some type of small community as far as like a chat or something that we can all hang out in, whatever in, all that good stuff, early on in this year as well. Facts never give up. Yeah, for sure, dude. I put out this tweet earlier. It's kind of cliche, but dude, just keep fucking going. Like I said, kind of another way to say what I was saying earlier is that, like, if you, this kind of Thread guy says this all the time, if you kind of stick around in crypto for long enough, like, you're going to fall upon some big opportunity, and all the skills that you built and the pattern recognition is going to enable you to spot that opportunity. So honestly, you're doing way better. I think we're than doing way better than you think you're doing. Like, truthfully, even if you haven't had any results for a year, I'm telling you, all the shit that where I really made the culmination of my portfolio and money and really everything has been since like 2023. Um, and all of that was the culmination of the other 7 years before that, of me learning this chart shit, from learning what not to do, from losing money to studying shit to being in these different, like, all these different shit. So I don't think for you it's going to take, and I made money in 2020, 2021, but like a lot of people lost a lot of it, a lot of bullshit. But really where I started solidifying on Twitter, but also just like in the portfolio and everything is, not until 6 or 7 years in, really until four years after I was on crypto Twitter. Um, so it's a long journey. I think for a lot of you guys, it doesn't need to be that long, but just, it's a long fucking journey. You're doing way better than you think you are. Like, all this shit is going to add up, if you keep going. So shout out to everybody who's liking this too. You guys are fucking amazing. Thanks, dude. Thanks for the advice. I'll be learning everything following you. Appreciate that, man. Always buy high and sell low. Yeah, that's always great. Right, always help in the trenches. Good knowledge. Yes, yes, sir. Yo, Katsu. Shout out to Katsu, dude. This guy's another fucking grinder. Fucking clipper out there. I really respect all these clipper guys who have some pretty decent followings themselves with thousands of followers, and they're out clipping their asses off. You have Katsu doing, a lot of numbers, a lot of these tweets, and Clip's doing really well. So shout out to you, bro. Keep grinding. I like how you're kind of branding yourself too. I checked out your Instagram. Why do you have such low views? I think a lot of it is really, I need to be more consistent in general, but I think a lot of it is the faceless content, right? It's like you kind of have to stop the scroll, and I don't know. I just need to put more in effort into it. As far as stopping the scroll, and I think a lot of it, especially on Instagram for Reels, is stopping the scroll. Even more, TikTok has really good discoverability where it'll have a little bit more leeway if you are consistent, to where it will show your videos to more people. I've gotten thousands of views on some of those videos, but I think really like putting my face in it and more content that kind of stops the scroll, Danny. I think that's it, bro. But there's no excuse. It's I just need to put more effort into it. I just haven't really just thrown up clips on there. I need to be more strategic with everything, but that's what's coming in 2026. That's what I'm working on. That just keep clicking, show up every day, and never give up. Yeah, I should hire a good video editor. Yeah, no, I think for what we're doing with what I have specifically now, the style of um, just like the captions at the bottom is probably 90% of what I need. Maybe with some different stuff in the background of what I'm talking about. But I think it changes everything when I have just a face cam on me, right? It's like you're looking at my face, me talking, me being animated, whatever the fuck it may be. It's just a completely different thing in a world where TikTok and Instagram are like first 1 or 2 seconds are everything, right? And if it's just somebody's voice, you really have to be like a really good hook. But it's no excuse. I'm working towards it either way. I was here in 2021, but I'm still not rich yet. Skill issues yet? What's your advice for me? Um, so I think what most people's problem is, DeFi drunk, is one of two things. They're either I'm seeing a few of you follow me on Instagram right now. Shout out to you guys for real. But the I think most people's dilemma and problems in crypto is one of two things. They either I think most people can buy stuff, DeFi drunk, and you can tell me. I don't think your problem is that you are never getting good plays, right? Like most people, you probably have had really good plays, but then at some point, um, you either like most people sell everything way too early, or probably more likely you round trip stuff, right? You can tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. Um, but usually one of those two things. So the number one thing that I would do to separate yourself right now is number one, if you have any dry powder at all, this is the times you want to be buying. With the understanding that, like I said, Bitcoin could definitely go up and then come back down later this year. I don't think that's likely, but yeah, but what was I gonna say? But yeah, no, I think if you setting up a profit taking system is essentially what I'm getting at. You want to have where you're buying stuff right now during the times when everybody's not as excited, even if it's a little bit, and essentially taking profits on the way up with a profit taking system, um, with a different incremental, what's it called? Like profit taking on the way up based on 5, 10, 15, 20x so that you're not round tripping. I think most people are either just getting into late and not taking any profits, and that's that. But yeah. Yeah, again, Rabia, I don't know if you necessarily mean. I appreciate the criticism. I don't know if you mean like the actual resolution of the actual whatever, and that's one thing. I think it's really just like I'm limited with these streams and the voiceless stuff, right? Where it's I'm sorry, faceless stuff. Um, to where I think I could make more clips that are more like entertaining stuff that'll I touching on bigger topics like fucking Kabuto and all these different things to where it would just get in the general algorithm. But generally, I think where the videos will improve is getting a face content in there. It's just like, yeah, I think that'll be the biggest thing. Um, yeah, but as far as the quality of the motions and graphics or whatever, give me a DM, Rebby. I'm open to any type of whatever. I haven't really. I think the Instagram resolution's still pretty decent. Um, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit less, but from the TikTok. But I appreciate that, bro. You DM me about it. I keep blowing up my port, and yes, I round trip. Also, it's just like you want to be very picky, especially during these times. You can't be buying fucking any old coin. It's just you're gonna get rinsed. But yeah. Let me go ahead and check. Oops, almost closed my tab right there. That would have been bad. Wow. A lot of fucking people on here right now. I appreciate it. Need some hopium. DGen Naz. I don't know if you're in here right now, brother, but I think there's a lot of hopium to be had, man. I don't think I need to give you hopium. I think there's gonna be a lot of exciting shit to come this year. Let's fucking go. We miss you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate boss man. Let's see. Miss D, Kazi, what's good? Skylo, Jamie, Min has Paul, David Daniels. Mm, no matter what people say, I'm staying bullish. I think this year will be great for crypto. I'm also on the channel Limpos. Hell yeah. So the Clarity Act this month as well. Clarity Act. I think that's still paused. I think they're gonna kind of redo it and revote on that. I still think that's gonna be bullish whenever that does pass. So I think we're going to see that Clarity Act. Somebody just said this 2 minutes ago. Clarity Act is still live. Coinbase is working with the banks to get alignment. Still a lot to be work to be done if they do, but this is do or die time right now. There's a lot of upside not being baked in if the bill does end up getting passed. I agree. I think this is just going to unlock and allow founders in different types of businesses to work in crypto without having to worry about if it's illegal or they're going to get sued by the SEC for it. Um, so yeah, I'd expect over the next few weeks we will see this passed, which is bullish. AI meta, like I was saying, guys, I think it's going to probably continue. I really don't have any strong conviction in any individual coins. Probably the runners like Gas and Ralph will probably continue to do well. The PSYOP anime looked pretty good. Right now, what I'm continuing to do is just focusing on the bread and butter and what I know is going to very likely do well in this next leg up, and that is in two areas. The two areas, um, the movement coins, the SPX Gigas, Mogs, ticker Bitcoins, USDUCs, Troll, that have proven over these corrections the last few years that they've survived, come back stronger. There's actual movements and groups of people that care about it behind it. And then the flywheel coins, the pumps, the Asters, the Zoras, the coins that have protocols that people are really using, producing revenue, going back into the token. Those two areas, I'm just continuing to DCA. I haven't really, as things have been going up, I've kind of a little bit slowed down, but I've done a lot of DCAing over the last couple months. My bags are packed in those. I think they're going to do incredibly well. But I think this is going to be a very bullish time for crypto in general. I think we're seeing price action finally align to where with the bullish fundamentals, everything in the background. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, whatever, most people only focus on that price action. So now that the price action is aligning on this next leg up, I think you're going to see everybody get bullish. You're going to see coins start to more accelerate and rip harder. And I think we're going to move towards 100K and above very quickly. Um, okay. Don't forget Mystic DAO. Yeah, let me go and look up Mystic DAO for you real quick. Mystic, can I find that on TradingView? Curve DAO. What's up, dude? Um, what was it? Mystic? Mystic DAO? What's the ticker? Mystic? You have to tell me the ticker, bro. I guess I'm gonna look it up on here. Oh, it's at a DAO. It probably doesn't have it. I don't know. Mystic DAO, new era, the gamified DeFi ecosystem on Solana powering Magic Swap Pro.
Game demo is live.
Interesting. Is Mystic DAO what the homie came and talked about on the space? Either way, this is super interesting. I need to. This is really fucking. They're like gamifying it. Uh, I need to look more into this. I think it's fascinating. I do think we will start to see more of stuff like this sprout up. So DM me more about this. This is something I probably need to take like take more time to look at and understand. Oh, it's not launched yet. TGE soon. Okay, so it might be a little bit of a meta or something that not meta, but something that might get hot. Let me know in the chat like what are some reasons you're bullish on it and some stuff you like. Got any recommendations for me? Your current holding? Yeah. So, like I said, bro, I think for me, like there's two areas as far as coins go that I'm very bullish on that I think are gonna absolutely outperform most things. I have it written out in this tweet here. I'll find for you that you can go and look at yourself. You don't want to write it down. Let's see. Um, maybe it's up here a little bit. But essentially, it's two areas: the movement coins, the SPX, Gigas are right here. These two sectors will dominate during this next run. Movement coins, the MOGs, SPX, Gigas, USDUCs, Pengu, Troll, Pepe, Bitcoin, Rect. Rect is a little bit more of a brand coin, same kind of thing. There's a real movement behind it that people believe in it, other than just the price going up. They usually have high mimetic ceilings where people are chasing a bigger goal. And I think what that leads to is again these coins have already shown over multiple years, over multiple corrections that they've come out on the other side stronger. And I think the same thing happens here in a big way. MOG, SPX, Giga, USDUC, Pengu, especially Troll as well. All of them I think do incredibly well. Do 5 to 10x's from here, probably pretty conservatively over the next however long. Revenue, flywheel coins, same kind of thing, except the value in these lies in the revenue that these coins are producing. That they do a buy and back thing where they take the coin, they they take the revenue produced from the coin, a certain amount from it, they go and buy back the coin off the open market, and then they burn it or they just lock it up. I think that's going to be a very strong narrative. The hypes, the pumps, the Astros, the Zors, the Punkster, the Vibesters, where there's real revenue or real stuff happening, um, where people are actually using the protocols. I think the movement coins are kind of really going to satisfy the needs of the retail people and the people who really want to join movements. And then the revenue coins for people who find themselves more intellectual, who are more of the institutional type minded or traditional finance minded, where they really value revenue and these different metrics. So these are my coins that I've really been accumulating of. Again, I think 5 to 10x plus on a lot of these as we rip out, and that's just because I think we're very early on these coins as far as early during this cycle, to where once they rip, I think they're going to rip pretty fast. So DeFi drunk, I hope that that helps. Yeah, of course, bro. It's a magic card game, okay, where you rip packs and earn yield. That's actually really fucking interesting. I think gamifying like collectibles and the stuff too, where yeah, that's actually really fucking interesting. I'm ready for the value, but yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. What else is going on? What else did I have on the agenda besides the giveaway? But we did the chart setups, NFT season. Yeah. So, I mean, NFT season, guys, is kind of on the verge of something big happening. I don't know what's going to really push it into there. But Jaden says NFT just woke up. You can barely see it on the all-time chart. Everyone's underestimating how parabolic things can go. Over the last 30 days, the NFT market has increased by 800 million to around 3 billion. That's crazy. Collections, dude, that's insane. You guys notice that it's gone almost 4x in 30 days. That's actually incredible. Collections are doing 100% moves, and then you get the multiplier effect of Ethereum raising 10% on top. It all feels electric until you look at the orange arrow on the chart and realize where we are now compared to those skyscraper candles in 21. It's a worn out phase in crypto, but we're still fucking early. I firmly believe that you'll bet on historical NFT projects with ironclad supplies, where there's always a reason for people to go back, culturally significant art that speaks to internet culture and nostalgia, or founders who never left and kept plugging away through the most brutal bear market. It's clear who the builders are and which communities stuck around. When things start running hot, I can see a bunch of folks making a flight to safety into the better projects with their bag of shit punts get an inevitable liquidity pump. No one can say what actually happens, but my hunch is we're starting down a golden period for NFT holders. Oh man, I agree. This is fucking great. Shout out to Jaden. Big facts. Oh man. DeFi drunk, shout out to you, bro. Shooting you a follow. DeFi Drunk, where'd you find us as well? I assume from the Telegram channel as well. Shout out to you, brother. Let's go back to the chat. Bossman calls. Thank you for being here. They also have a swap protocol cheaper than Jupiter called Magic Swap, where all fees are put back into the Mystic Treasury. That's really sick. Are you looking at AI meme coins? Yeah, man, but I've really just like started tapping back in this last day. I've just been really fucking distracted this last week. I'm not gonna lie. Haven't really gotten into trading a lot of these AI coins, but I have a lot of the homies in the chat just absolutely fucking killing it, just getting these crazy 20, 30, 40 X's off of Ralph. Luckily, again, White Whale has just been a fucking cook for us. So, you know, really don't like to trade a lot of these low caps unless my head's just completely like in it and I'm just locked in. But getting back locked in, and I will definitely be paying attention to a lot of this stuff and probably will be trading more of it. But um, yeah, haven't really hit too many of them yet. I hope all of you guys are fucking killing it though in the AI stuff. It's been exciting to see a lot more volatility. Big respect for all you're doing. Thanks, bro. Do you think Fartcoin makes a comeback? Yeah, I do. I do think Fartcoin also is in that boat too. I think. Um, Mufasa, shout out to you, man. It's good to see a lot of you guys in here, bro. Or a lot of you guys engaging. It really means a lot. Shout out to Jonah too. He's another really consistent streamer here on Twitter and everywhere else. He owns LiveFrame, which is this big AI clipping thing that dude he's using on his clips to do incredibly well. So yeah, man. Hey, whoever was hitting me about the quality on the stream tweets though, definitely message me. We'll definitely talk. Open to any type of improvements, but yeah, guys, I think Bitcoin probably continues to chop down slowly into Sunday. Potentially makes another low here. Definitely possible here that it comes back down, maybe even to 93, 92. We'll have to see exactly how it plays out. But I do think over the coming days, we are going to see Bitcoin bottom out. Um, between, like I said, probably between here and 93. We're sitting right on top of this consolidation. I'm sorry, this consolidation high, this resistance turn support. And what I think is going to end up happening, guys, is that we're going to chop here and go back up into next week. And this next pump to 100K very likely pushes us into a more risk on environment where Bitcoin absolutely fucking rips. And pushes us the alts and everything, memes, everything into that out of that no man's land, like I have it titled in the stream, and into full on risk on mode. At that point, really the final boss confirmation is on the daily chart for this 200 moving average for Bitcoin. Once it closes back above it, just like it did here at 89K in April, just like it did here at 65K here in October. I believe it's going to rip back above here and take us back to all-time highs. Once we get over that 200 moving average, the playing devil's advocate, just like we saw in 2022, Bitcoin traded back up to this 200 moving average, but failed to break above it, which would have been your final confirmation that we are going to go into a bigger bear market. So to play devil's advocate, I think there's like a 20% chance of this happening or less. I think Bitcoin pops up here, could come back to this 200 moving average. If it were to fail to break it and kind of slow down, then we could be looking at a bear market low, a final kind of second bear market kind of drop there. But again, guys, I don't think that's likely with everything considered. Charts looking very bullish, impulsive so far. But most of all, just the fundamentals. I think everything is pointing to crypto, just seeing the mass adoption that a lot of us have been talking about for years. And I don't think it's the crowd and most people are the most bearish, and then towards the top, it's the complete opposite. So either way, I think we push higher to pretty soon, and I think we'll start to see more people coming in crypto Twitter, more people on TikTok, all these other different places, and I'm here for it. I'm excited. I've been DCing and sticking around for a while, and I hope you guys have too. So, um, I'm gonna go ahead and do that giveaway. Jesse, you have something to say? Was I not sharing? Oh, the chart. My bad. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking at the stream. We'll shoot you a DM from my Telegram. Thanks, bro. Thank you, brother. We've been using Opus clips and shit for the thing, and it looks pretty crisp on the when we get it back to there. But I'm gonna go short it for a little P. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, brother. But yeah, with that, guys, I think yeah, all signs pointing to more upside here soon, and these are always the time. I think we're just right on that precipice of everybody kind of turning risk on and things getting a little bit more fun. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out on me. 1,400 views or whatever. I don't know how many people are on here currently. I'd probably guess close to 100. That's usually how it is during the times where there's this much views. 100 now. I have no doubt that this community that we're building here is going to get to 500, 1,000 because of how many people are coming into crypto, but also, you know, of this community. I really appreciate everybody here. You know, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys on Saturday. Again, it's been a weird week for me, just in general, this last week, but I'm excited to get back into it for getting back to the Tuesday and Friday schedule. If you're looking for a place to learn, hang out, get some good plays, ask some questions, whatever the fuck, you just chop it up wherever you're out in the world, morning, night, afternoon. We'll be here on X. Gonna move over to TikTok streaming as well too, probably simultaneously, maybe do some separate ones. But if you guys could do anything, if you learned anything from the stream, you know, anywhere, if you guys could do me a favor, top right, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Again, just really making a huge effort to build on those other platforms over this next year. Quality of the content's only going to improve. Get a face cam and all that good stuff, long form content. But everybody who's here over the last year, appreciate everybody for hanging out, and you know, thank yourself for being around. I know it's like a lot of people's families and friends. It's like, why the fuck are you spending any time in this crypto stuff right now when there's nothing going on? But I'm telling you, like the skills that you learn now, it's cliche. All the skills you learn now are what takes you to where you can like, because think about it, like every time we are pumping, even 2024, everybody wanted to be making money in crypto. I remember I had a friend who like knows a lot of people who are, you know, in the entertainment industry. Like there's a lot of big name like entertainers and rappers and like at least different people who always get, not even just to like get promotion deals, but like to actually trade. Like there's people from all walks of life. Everybody wants to be a crypto trader when times are good. And then everybody's just like, why the fuck are you doing this when it's bad? So everybody who sticks around during this time are the people usually who everybody envies, uh, from outside of crypto and, you know, when times are good. So appreciate everybody for being on here. Seriously. Be back on Tuesday here. Check out the Telegram channel. Check out all the socials at the top right. Oh, the giveaway. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that right now. I was gonna do it after the stream, but I'll do it right now. Shout out to the people following. Seriously, shoot me a DM. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick from the chat. 82 comments on here. Oh, that's not it. Okay. All right, picking randomly right now. All right. Let's see here. All right. First winner is Raid. Appreciate you, brother. You're one of the winners of the 100 giveaway, 100 USDC giveaway. Appreciate you for being here. I shot you a follow. Shoot me a DM, and I'll definitely get that to you today. And then one more. Let me go ahead and put this on here real quick. Let me go ahead and pick it randomly. Boom, boom, boom. go. All right, and second is Ref Monster shooting you a follow back. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot you guys that USTUC. Congratulations! Thank you guys so much for being on the stream today. Like I said, hanging out with me on Saturday when you guys could be doing whatever the fuck else, especially during a time when the market's pretty fucking slow, means a lot to me. And I think you're doing yourself a huge favor if you're trying to take this crypto shit seriously. So thank you so much. I'll go ahead and be back here on Tuesday. Make sure to shoot a follow, like, comment, retweet on the stream, share with all the friends, homies, and see you guys on Tuesday at around 11:30 PST.